Welcome back to the Camilla Tominey Show. Stephanie Grisham joins me now. She's a former White House press secretary to Donald Trump and chief of staff to the First Lady, Melania Trump. Stephanie, lovely to see you this morning. Thanks for getting up so early for us. Let's get straight into this. I mean, you've got one candidate running for president who could be under a custodial sentence. You've got another candidate that might not be able to communicate a sentence. What on earth is going on in US politics?
Well, it's pretty crazy on the Republican side, and good morning to you as well. I wanted to say thank you for having me. Right now we've got a pretty full group of Republicans running in the primary, and as you said, there's a lot going on. Donald Trump is in the lead, though. He's really in our polls, quite far ahead of everybody else. So we'll see what happens. This, despite, of course, the fact that he's dealing with 4 different cases, criminal cases, 3 of them, one of them being a civil case.
And interestingly, Stephanie, there's this whole notion of now Biden under investigation and his son Hunter Biden under investigation, Trump under investigation. I suppose the bottom line is for our audience is, should either of these men be standing? I mean, what do you think about Trump standing, first of all? And then secondly, Biden, is he just too old and beyond it to stand again?
You know, it's really interesting. Polls by and large here in the United States are showing that nobody is excited about either option. Nobody seems to want Biden and nobody seems to want Trump. However, Trump is leading because he's got a subsection of the Republican Party that's kind of holding the Republican nomination hostage and giving it to Trump, meaning that if he were to probably go against a general, he would lose to Biden. But you're absolutely right. People are really starting to question Biden, his age, his competency. People are questioning, even physically how he walks. People are looking at how he's speaking. He's been doing a lot of misspeaking lately.
Yes.
So it's interesting because nobody seems to want either, but these seem to be the 2 nominees.
But then who would be better in your mind? I mean, you've worked in US politics for many years. You were in the White House. There's talk about Ron DeSantis. There's talk, on the other hand, about Gary Newsom and others on the Democratic side. I mean, who would be better than these 2 that are kind of rising through the ranks?
Well, this is going to obviously be my opinion, but if you watched our first Republican debate, I think Nikki Haley did a really good job. She has been careful to about the issues. She wants to talk about the fact that there should be a new generation of politicians out there, but yet she hasn't been, slamming or negative towards Trump and the nominees, the other nominees. I also think Pence could do a good job. Look, he's definitely prepared. And then on the Democratic side, I think Gavin Newsom would be a very interesting choice. And then, of course, we've got Robert Kennedy, who's running as well. And I haven't figured him out yet. A lot of times he's got a lot of Republican talking points. So in my mind, there haven't been many people coming up for Democrats because Biden just has that hold. Nobody's really stepped up to even want to go against our sitting president.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. We've still got, 9 months to go to get these things figured out.
Stephanie, are you still in touch at all with Donald Trump or his wife?
I am not. I resigned on January 6th on the day of the insurrection, and I have not spoken to them since. I wrote a book, and they weren't very happy with it.
I thought that was the case. I was going to ask you, following on from that, because I know your view was that January the 6th was an aberration and should never have happened. Therefore, I thought I'd ask you, do you think that Trump does deserve to go to prison?
I think that, in the United States, a jury should decide. I think the evidence should be looked at. I am no fan of Donald Trump, but I'm going to let the courts decide that. I don't think I want to jump ahead and say, he does or doesn't without seeing and hearing all of the evidence.
And also, you were chief of staff to Melania. Everyone finds this lady really intriguing, myself included. What's going on there? I mean, she's stuck by Donald Trump, even though on occasion she's looked like she'd rather be anywhere else. Just quickly, just tell us, what's the dynamic of that relationship and what's Melania doing there?
It's an interesting dynamic. I still to this day have mixed feelings about her. We were very, very close and I admire a lot of things about her. I think they have a real partnership. He would go to her for advice often and she would give it. But, she's a very private person, whereas he loves to be out in the public eye. She's very devoted to their son. And so I know right now her focus is him with schooling and whatnot. In the U.S. here, everybody's wondering, where is she? Why isn't she on the campaign trail? But, I tell everybody Melania Trump will do what she wants when she wants. So I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't see her until he got the actual nomination and really began running for president. They have a real partnership there.
Yes.
They got along better than I think most people want to think or do. And they're actually quite alike in many ways that people probably don't want to know either.